And ARCA is green.
Finch with a nice push to Willie Mullins as they head into turn one. Tony
Five cars have pulled, six cars have pulled away from the main pack.
Remember last year that 27 car of Tim Richmond was racing for the lead late in the race and ran out of fuel.
That's a lot of cars.
As we look to get the field a little more organized, you know, ARCA Menard Series does group qualifying, and I feel like it really splits up the field in a lot of ways as far as which cars are strong and which aren't, as guys are seeing the jockey for position pretty early.
Willie Mullins pulling out in front. Behind him, the 18-year-old Jake.
It's been
Finch,
so long since ARCA raced at night at Daytona. What, 4 years?
And James is back.
2020 would have been the last time.
Jake told me he's going to run some races for his dad here in the ARCA Series this year. So
He's going to at least a half a dozen, yeah.
Maybe 2019.
And Tim Richmond,
what year did Eric? Whatever year Eric Jones won
that raced in the Cup Series. What a nice young man.
The Clash.
That truck series race we had just now, and try to keep
what are
these
your
cars a
thoughts
little
on
straighter than those trucks were.
I'm with you, Phil. I see a lot of movement in the field. You look at those roofs, and they're moving all over the place. Some guys may be ducking out of the field, ducking out of line. And some guys might be delivering massive bushes in the middle of the back straightaway. There's a lot going on here in the pack.
Looks like Greg Van Alst making it 3 wide up on top of the racetrack. You see him right there in the 35, last year's winner.
The 62 car to get on the brakes, they're really big.
That's Steve Lewis Jr. in the 62 car. See, Greg Van Alst is trying to squeeze back down. Looks like he was able to get down.
I think it's going to take at least 7 to 8 laps to get this field sorted out, because I do feel like there's some really strong cars that are in the field right now that are trying to work their way forward, and probably some of the opposite, maybe some cars that don't have the raw speed that are kind of jammed in there in the center of the field.
And that group qualifying will bring that on. You may have some of the fastest cars here in practice, and they get in the wrong group and don't get a good qualifying effort, and they start at the back as you see Greg Van Alst leading that third line up towards the front.
I mean, that's a great effort. I mean, just a push from Gus Dean all the way up to Greg Van Alst really recovered that third lane. Meanwhile, it's letting the bottom get away here. So it'll be interesting to see if this third lane stays or if it creates some handling issues in the middle of the pack. Because when you got cars 3 wide side by side, exit at turn 4, you're going to have a lot of movement. As they really put the squeeze on Tony Breidinger exit the trial.
How bad Haley Deegan is.
Greg Van Alst making moves early.
Oh, trouble already.
And we've got Tony
Oh, big one. Oh, huge one. Huge. Gizzy's in it.
Yeah, SVG is in that as well.
Gizzy's in it.
Van Gisbergen had to run this race to be able to race in the Xfinity race, so this will be interesting to see what the officials say.
I think Tanner Gray and the Gibbs number 18
I can't not let him race now.
Jeff Schofield in the 07 we see there.
Big damage to Amber
That's half the field.
Amber Balkan full time this year once again. This is not how she wanted to start her season.
I think that's Ed Pompa in the number 10 car for Andy Hillenberg.
It was getting really tight through the middle of that tri-oval. I wonder if there were some cars that just got squeezed. Obviously, Tony was stuck in the middle there, so
saw Chris right there.
We know at least 3 of the Venturini cars were involved in that incident.
Venturini has 5 full-time entries. Let's see exactly what happened.
That's the 25 of Tony right in the middle. Let's see if she gets squeezed.
So I think the 02 got a push there and wiggled down the racetrack, and then they just kind of squeezed and touched on corner entry to 1. And just
I
really
think Gizzy
might
be able to continue if they can repair the back of his car.
Push when you're racing that close, you know, only a few inches door to door, generates some contact.
Yeah, and the majority of these cars involved, nothing they could do. There, Tony gets into the 97 of Jason Kitzmiller.
And everybody else is just checking up, trying to miss it. I mean, half
doing their
cars
best to try to miss it.
See the 28 on the right side of your screen spinning around. That's Shane Van Gisbergen.
There's a Sioux Chief on board for Tony Breidinger.
Yeah, so when that push got delivered to the 55, I mean, Tony, you can see by the lines on the racetrack, she was holding her car dead
I think
straight.
Tony's done.
Got a push. That 02 car came down the racetrack and shoved her into the inside lane, and then everyone else is involved.
Yeah, I mean, we're 2-3 laps into the race and we're already pushing people sideways into each